Hi, hello. I'm in Texas and I wanted to make this video about Mars, though, and why I think that living on Mars is a possibility for people, and what are some of the characteristics of Mars that make it such a special planet, such an important planet. It is a planet that, as you can see, I have a picture of Mars. It's a terrestrial planet, so definitely it's not a gaseous planet, and it's close to us. It's only like by with a rocket. In those means, it will take around possibly 6 months to get to Mars, and back in a rocket will take another 6 months. So it is a planet that is close to us. Mm-hmm. And is in the solar system, and we know a lot about it because a lot has been studied about Mars. There's like books about it. There's like a lot of written information. There's a lot of research that has been done to Mars, and a lot of robots have been sent for many years to Mars. So there's like detailed, very, very detailed information about it. So it is a planet that presents, in other words, the characteristics for people to live in there. Mm-hmm. But first, we have to know what is it about Mars that can help people live in there in the future. Mm-hmm. First of all, Mars has oxygen. It is true what scientists have said on TV and on the videos of YouTube and on books. It is true that Mars does have oxygen, but the thing about Mars is that the atmosphere is very thin. It's not as thick as the one of Earth, but at least the good thing is it has oxygen. And another thing is that Mars has water. Now, the water that I've read that Mars has is frozen, so it's on the poles. It's on the North Pole. See, that's the picture of Mars. So it's in the North Pole and on the South Pole, but it's frozen water. And other images of Mars that have been shown to the public on videos and on pictures. The the water is mainly, like I said, all frozen, and it looks like river streaks. It looks like streaks all over the planet. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And some of them they look like lakes. Mm-hmm. But it mainly is all frozen. It's all frozen. Now, some scientists say that there can be liquid water underground the surface of Mars. So, in order for people or the scientists to gain access to the water, they have to drill the surface of Mars. So that will take a lot of months or maybe a couple of years, and then turn that water that is underground into drinkable water for people. But the important thing, it does have, like I said, oxygen, and it has water, and a lot of water, guys. Some written reports say that there's like underground lakes of water. Imagine that. That just that the robots, perseverance and opportunity, they have to work on getting access to that water. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And drilling. And later on, in a few years, when the astronauts in the spaceships from Earth get to Mars, they will turn that water into drinkable water for people, but that will take a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And other characteristics of Mars is that it has carbon dioxide, which is an important source for people to survive on planet. Is carbon dioxide. It has other elements out there for people to live, but those three things are very important. Also, the fact, like I said, that it's terrestrial planet and it's not gaseous planet. And oh yes, it has a second season. In the planet, on the planet Mars, it's always, of course, very cold. I know it's minus 200 Fahrenheit, but it's also, there's another season, which is the summer season, and for several months it gets warm, just like on Earth. So it's like 70 something Fahrenheit. Yes, on Mars also it's warm. It's not like it's always extremely, extremely cold. So that's also a really good thing about Mars as well that can help people survive as well. Hmm. And also the good thing about Mars is that it has volcanoes like on Earth. It has like geographical features that are similar to it. It has volcanoes and it has mountains too. So someday if people settle on Mars, they can look at those features from far, and it will be cool to look at the volcanoes and the mountains of Mars. And it has of course flat surface, of course as well. Some scientists also say that there's some microbial life on Earth. On of course, not on Earth, just not just on Earth, of course, that there's microbial life on Mars. A little bit of it, there's a little bit of it. So that's a really, really good idea. If it has microbial life, that's very, very good. If in the future the robots that get to be sent to Mars start growing food on the surface of Mars, just like in the movie, I think Red Planet or Mission to Mars, one of those two movies, that would be totally awesome. If they start growing food all over the floor of Mars, that would be awesome. And then later on they can grow not just in one area but in another area all over the planet of Mars, grow food, that would be great. And also if they build cities in there, like some scientists, they say that they want to build cities on Mars, then that would be great for people to consider that aspect of living in there, inside the cities of Mars, with oxygen in there. Of course, not some type of oxygen that is definitely useful for us, and of course we'll be able to live in there for several years, and even maybe possibly have families in there and just have regular lives. So Mars is definitely a planet that is a good idea for people to live in. It is a good idea, but I know right now that the development of living on that planet is on the works. And yes, some scientists say that we are not ready. Yes, I do know that right now we might not be that ready, but we have the interest of going over there. Many people do have the interest of living in there, or just maybe even being space tourists someday. There is an interest in there. The science about living on Mars will be developed eventually. Things will be improved in there for people to live in there, or just to travel in there as space tourists. I think you really will happen. And maybe like in 100 years, or maybe hopefully less than that, 50 years, something like that, or maybe less than 50 years, there will be like a colony in there for people to live in there, with the astronauts. And we'll be very happy to be on Mars. But right now, yeah, Mars is the only planet that has life close to us of planet Earth. It's the only one. And I've been reading this for a long, long, long time. It's the only one. It is our next hope. And when it comes to living in another planet, this is it, guys. It's Mars or no other planet. No other out there. Some people say that Proxima Centauri, that's an option, but the planet or the idea of going to Proxima Centauri is too far. It takes hundreds and thousands of years just to go to Proxima Centauri. Hundreds and thousands of years, and it's 4.2 light years. Just too far. It's just too far, and if we get in a ship someday, we'll go to Proxima Centauri. By the time it will be like 100,000 years. I don't know if people want to be in a ship like that with 100,000 years just to go to Proxima Centauri. It is terrestrial, like Mars, and it has its own sun. I mean, its own star, which is a cool thing about it. But the thing is about Proxima Centauri also is that it's being too far, that we don't know how much oxygen that is, and about the water. How much water could there be? on Mars. I mean on Proxima Centauri. So not much studies or research has been done about it. It's still some, but yeah, it is an idea about a planet where we can live. Some people say that there's lights. It's true about bright lights, and then that there's a civilization, an alien civilization. Maybe. I mean, if a planet has bright lights and stuff, yeah, that could mean that some alien beings are living there. But I'm not too sure about. Well, really, they're aliens, but there's some type of life going on in there. There is. I mean, it has lights and stuff. I mean, something interesting is happening in there. So the planet Proxima Centauri has one side that is all lighted, and then the other one is all dark. So one area is all lighted, so you'll be, if you get over there someday, you'll be in a planet that's always daylight, and then the other planet outside of the planet is always dark. So it's gonna be kind of weird to get used to that stuff. Being in a planet is always either light or it's all too dark. That's just my opinion. So, and then you have to find out how to live, what hubs are you going to live, and about the resources, the food, and then the water and all that stuff. There's just a lot of stuff to think about. And the clothing attire, what kind of clothing attire, and many other things. How you going to survive on a planet that is so harsh and so far away. On Mars, there's more possibilities because since there's more research being done, all those resources that are going to be used are being developed right now. And they're going to be accessible to people. But through time, they will be accessible. And of course, the money also, for people are already saving money to go to a trip on Mars. And it will take 6 months to go over there. It's true. And 6 months to go back. But people think, oh, if I go to Mars someday after the 6 months, then I'll be able to go immediately back the other 6 months. No, you have to wait a while. So the round trip to Mars will be 2 years. 2 years, guys. So 6 months to get over there on a rocket, and then after basically a while, then you have to wait for the planet Mars and the planet Earth to be aligned. Like in this year, since there's planetary alignment of Mars and on Earth and other planets in the solar system, this is the year of planetary alignments. Every 300 years, there's planetary alignments. So after being there for 6 months and 6 months plus over a year, then you can consider, oh well, yeah, then I can come back to Earth. So imagine how much you have to wait. So it's basically you have to wait 2 years, basically. Just to get back to Earth. It will be a challenge. And people have to have the resources to get in a ship to get back to Earth and stuff. But right now, what we know about Mars is the next option of where we can live is on Mars. The only planet, where we can live right now is Mars. That's it. There's no other planet beside that. There have been reports about other planets that are in the I think it's in the Milky Way, but in space or that are being studied, that scientists say that have life. It's true. There have been reports about it, but still they're very, very far away. I think that most of them are in the way beyond, like in deep space. So it will take like a ship that has light speed just to get over there. Who knows how many years it will take to get to those planets and stuff. Just like in the movie, I saw the movie Interstellar, and then they found this planet at the end of the movie, and it was like so far away. And the man got in there when he was like almost 100 years. But that was it. That's the planet that they saw. It was the only one where they could stay, and it took like 100 years. Mm-hmm. 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 But he didn't get there as an old person. He got there looking young. So that's another thing about space is when you travel through space for a while and you're inside a spaceship or a rocket, then you will look young. You will look young, just like in the movie Back to the Future too, and other movies out there, Interstellar, Mars, the Red Planet, Mission to Mars. People will look young if they're inside rockets and in spaceships. They will look young because that's what space does. It makes people look young, or in a sense, um, it doesn't make you look old. In other words, so kind of like a fountain youth kind of effect on us. So it just retrocedes. It just doesn't make people get very old. It doesn't. The aging process is really like gonna be uh, not gonna be something that will worry us about. Let's just say that. So we won't age, in other words, that much in space. But if we go to a planet like Mars, will in Mars years we're going to be like 20 years less. So if I am 52 now, so if I go to Mars, in Mars years I'll be 20 something. I'm going to just look the same, but in Mars years, so I am 52 minus 20 years, the 25. Yay! So that's cool. That's another good thing about Mars is that it will help you have less years. You're going to look the same and young, but you in Mars is going to be a lot younger. A lot younger, guys. A lot younger. 20 years less. And in space, you're going to look young. You're going to be a young looking person, but you also have to exercise and you have to really, really, really take great care of yourself because it's a very cold and very harsh environment. Whether you're on another planet or in spaceships, it's going to be quite a challenge to live on another planet, to live in space. Very, very, very harsh environment, but well, it's something that it needs to be thought very well. Right now, since we live on this planet, on planet not Mars but planet Earth, my message also, besides reading about planets that can help us survive and also about Mars, is try to conserve or preserve life on Earth. And how can we do that? By reducing the emission of fossil fuels, or try not to use too much fuel. I mean, I'm not saying don't use cars. Yes, use cars, but try to reduce the emission of fuel. Buying cars that have capacity of not showing too much, not throwing too much carbon dioxide is a good idea. Like hybrid cars is a good idea, and not try to pollute or contaminate the environment that much. Some scientists say that this planet where we live, our dear planet Earth, there's a lot of debris outside, and it's in danger of getting very, very contaminated. And what can happen also in a couple of years is that the skies, the blue skies that we have right now, which are good, can turn into orange skies. We don't want that to happen. And orange skies will be contaminated skies where people cannot breathe. And then people will be like basically like really either suffocating or struggling to breathe. Right now we don't have that much, at least in this city we don't have that danger. I don't know about other cities, but we don't want to get to that point of living in orange skies in a couple of years. If we don't do something about it now, we'll be living in cities like that are all really, really totally contaminated. Don't be in favor of the cutting of the trees too much. Trees are good because they give us oxygen and they help us breathe. So we need to have as much oxygen also as possible. And about the water resources, we have to take good care of our water resources and not contaminate the rivers, the lakes, and the oceans. Don't try throw stuff on the rivers, lakes, and oceans. We're gonna need that water now and in the future, as much as possible. And for the dams too, because the dams need to use the water that is close to the cities to turn the water into electricity, man. Entonces todo. We need definitely the water, and we need also a good environment, natural environment, to have food sources so we can live, we can survive, we can feed our children, our families, and of course animals can survive and not die like in some countries and stuff, or sometimes in some cities that you see pictures of animals dying all over the beaches and close to cities. It's because the water is getting contaminated, guys. It's contaminated. We have to take care of the water. In rivers, in lakes, in oceans, and also make sure that it's always very pure and very clean, so we can use it. Also for transportation of ships and stuff that are carrying important merchandise to other cities, faraway cities, or to other countries as well. So we have to just in general take really good care of our planet. And while we're here, just love our planet a lot. Just love it, love it, love it, love it, and learn about it. Because this is the planet, or not Mars, this planet Earth is the one that gave us birth. And Mars will be a second planet for some. It might be the planet that will give birth to other people. You never know. Maybe when we get old, we turn really old and stuff, our grandkids will be living, or great grandkids will be living on Mars. They're gonna say that that's their home. That is their home. But right now, Earth is our home. And that's one of our missions, is to take care of our beautiful planet Earth. Así que eran los mensajes. Those are the messages I want to say to people. Learn about Mars as much as possible, because it's a planet, yes, where we can live on, and maybe even be space tourists, and take care of our beautiful planet Earth. Thanks a lot for your time, and have a nice day. Bye.